Hi, it's Goldsmith, and I'm here in London at the end of my 2019 tour of England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. It's been a wonderful 6 weeks, and I'm finishing up with the favourite thing that I like to do, which is working with swimmers and coaches on deck. I've been talking to coaches a lot about skill development and technique development, and the theme that I like is this one: train the skill, test the skill, race the skill. Train the skill, test the skill, race the skill. So what I mean by that is, initially we teach the skill, we engage with the athletes, we talk to them about how they can master the skill, how they can learn the skill really well. And then we say, all right, well, if they've got a general handle on the skill, how can we then progress the skill to take it from that basic learning stage to their ability to be able to race the skill under fatigue, at speed, under pressure, in competition conditions? So after teaching the skill and having the athletes practice and learn and think and feel, we then add an element of what I call test the skill. So for example, you might add an element of distance, you might add an element of complexity around time, you might add an element of complexity around the number of things that they have to do. And then finally, I like to race the skill, usually with head-to-head match racing, handicap conditions where the swimmers are testing their skill under race conditions. I'll give you an example. That in a little while, we're about to start a session on turning, and we're working very much on breaststroke turns and butterfly turns. And there's a wonderful technique I like to start the early stage, teach the skill, where I say little kids, when little kids approach the wall, they swim to the wall and they fold in, their arms fold in towards the wall and they push off with their hands, and it's way too slow. Big kids, and remember, being a little kid, you can be 18 and be a little kid, and you can be 8 and be a big kid. It's about the way you go about doing things. And what I say with big kids, as soon as their fingers touch the wall, there's a trigger and they put their knees on their chest. There's an exercise I like where we have the athletes floating, looking towards the bottom of the pool, just floating prone with their heels on the surface, with their hands on the surface. And on the sound of go, they put their knees on their chest, they grab their knees, and you'll see them spin somersault very slowly and gently backwards. And then we progress that for them doing it from a hands on the wall position, and then we do with a few strokes where they just do it again. They touch the wall, they put their knees on their chest and they spin backwards. And we teach them that touching is a trigger. We don't want them folding and coming into the wall. After we do that, so we've taught it, they've learned it, we then test it a little bit. Can they do it with a little bit of increasing speed? And then finally, can they race the skill? So the exercise that we'll be doing in a little while would be, we'll be putting the kickboard in the middle of the lane, where someone will be holding it, and the swimmers will race in opposite directions, racing each other, going to the end of the pool and coming back to see whether or not that skill, that new skill of touching and going, that nice tight turn, that tight tuck turn, whether or not it will withstand the pressure of competitive racing. And what I find that coaches do way too much is they spend too much time chasing the myth of technical perfection and just getting swimmers to do it over and over and over and learning it at slow speed, instead of saying, well, yeah, sure, they've learned it now. Can we progress it? Can they do it at speed? Can they do it under fatigue? Can they do it at pressure? Let's test the skill. Is it withstanding the pressures of competition settings? And then let's race it head to head and see if those newly learned skills will stand up to the pressures of fast racing. Test the skill, race the skill after learning the skill. A great way of progressing swimming skill development.